Obelisk Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Sleppy, and I'm joined today by Ben Segas.
How's it going?
Not a lot to talk about today, but I feel like it's like a big thing to talk about, kind of an exciting update, at least to me. We got our Prototype 4, Part 1, as I'm calling it, and it's the turn meter update. So there's a few other little things that Kel stuck in there, but the big one is the turn meter that kind of shows what order everyone's attacking in. Did you have a chance to mess with it?
Yeah, I bet. It was it's definitely helpful to kind of see how especially in auto mode, it makes it look, I don't know, it looks a lot more streamlined. You understand how things are gonna play out through the battle. So
yeah, for sure. We had those I guess they're called turn meters too, but the little indicators underneath the mobs and stuff before that kind of filled up. And those are so hard to tell because you don't know how much they're gonna fill each time unless you're really paying attention. So it kind of made it hard to, you could kind of look and be like, oh, his looks fuller and than mine or something, but it wasn't really intuitive, I don't think.
This is definitely a lot more intuitive. It's either you or one of the mobs. You don't have to worry about little meters and stuff. Yeah, and for anybody
listening that hasn't watched the video, I actually did the video on this prototype this morning and uploaded it to YouTube. So that link is in our Discord, and it's also at knobcat.com. So if somebody wants to go see what we're talking about, they can do that and come back maybe.
Yep. Do that.
Yeah, for sure. Or whatever. There's all kinds of Dungeons of the Obelisk content to consume for you right now. Yeah, the turn meter, I'm kind of excited for what it's going to look like when you have a chance to actually do something to it.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
I think cross swords in the middle, where the circles come to meet, some kind of indicating the combat would look pretty cool.
Yeah, I have an idea in mind of kind of a glow when it does it, but that's getting too into it, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll see. That'll be an update when it happens, I guess, but I'm really looking forward to that. The way it works, I think I'm going to do a blog post on this and give everybody the real dirty breakdown, basically the data and stuff that I gave to Kel to figure out turn order. So if anybody's really interested in that, they can go to the website and check out my Saturday update for the real turn by turn thing. But essentially the way you think about it right now is there's a cycle where everybody either works on filling up their meter or they attack and empty their meter. So it's based on your dexterity. So the higher your dexterity, the more you can kind of fill up I keep talking about the meter, but you kind of have an invisible meter, like we had before, but now you don't see that, and we use that to determine the turn order based on your dexterity, and then it kind of shows you with the marbles or whatever at the top.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so now I'm not sure how it was working before. We kind of grabbed a formula for turn order online and just kind of plugged it in as a placeholder, and it really didn't work because you would be level 10 with 50 dexterity, and then a glub with 5 dexterity was still going every other turn, and it didn't really make any sense. So now if you have that example, 50 dexterity and the glove has 5, you're gonna attack 10 times before it gets to move.
That's good. Glad it got figured out. Yeah, because I definitely noticed that in the previous, what do you call it, milestone, just to that attack order just kind of didn't really make too much sense, but now it definitely is very straightforward and makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, for sure. I'm hoping it, like, I can't wait to, like, really test everything with some more mobs and stuff and see how it all plays out. But I think now the main thing about it is that you can increase your dexterity. You get an item, it gives you more dexterity, and you can, like, plainly see how it's affecting the battle. You know, before it was a lot more abstract.
Yeah. I definitely need to test out more like item creation just to mess with the stats and see how they work together.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, the way it's working, it's kind of like, I keep saying this, but we basically are running around in level 1, where it's essentially the tutorial, and no actual player is going to spend that much time there. So when the game finally launches, the way it's going to work is you drop into level 1, there's a bunch of globs, you smack them around, and you're going to get more of like a predetermined set of gear to get you started.
Right.
And then once you get to level 2 and you're fighting level 2 mobs, you'll have like some gear that was kind of picked for you, and then you can start getting stuff randomly and creating your own build. But right now, like, we're kind of in this like middle state where you have a tutorial, but it's also like level 1 and you can just keep leveling in it and getting random stuff, you know. I don't think we're going to be dropping legendary weapons in, you know, the level 1 area.
Right. It's definitely like still very much a testing zone.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I want it to be for like the player too. They kind of just get in there and the gloves don't really hurt them, and they can just kind of mess around and see what their gear is doing before they get into the tougher game content. But yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about turn meters right now.
Yeah, I think it'll be very apparent once people can kind of take a look at like the video you did and see how it works, so it'll make sense.
Yeah, I just wanted to give them a little thought, you know, a little bit of my thoughts behind it and, you know, what we were making. So I think it turned out really well.
Yeah.
Cal did a really good job on it.
Yeah, definitely.
It was actually supposed to just be the marbles come from the one side. You know, but he said he didn't like how it looked, and he made it so they came from both sides. So your marbles coming from your side and the globs are coming from theirs. So it looks really good. I was like surprised whenever I saw it. And
yeah, it seems very intuitive.
that's what I want for the game. Is I don't want like long tutorials and text to read and stuff. I just want you to be able to pick up the game and play it and understand what's happening without having to have like arrows pointing at something. Now let's go spend gems on something, and you know what I mean? Like every game is like that nowadays, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, you don't want to waste time with hand holding for it, so
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's more of like I don't know, everybody uses the Mario example where you kind of, you know, like you walk and then all of a sudden there's something in front of you and you have to jump over it, and it doesn't say like now jump over it. It's just like you kind of figure it out.
yeah.
You know, and it just keeps giving you more and more, and you get to figure it out yourself instead of having to, you know, have an arrow saying, oh, okay, now press spacebar to jump or something stupid, you know, now select your attack. It's like, okay, just like every other game I've been playing for years, you select an attack to attack.
Yeah. It doesn't assume that the player is only playing their first game ever, basically. Like that sort of idea.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah.
I also think even if they are, they're gonna be able to figure it out.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like they're at least competent enough that they made it into the App Store or Steam and downloaded the game. So like they're not, even if it's the first RPG they've ever played, they're still at least smart enough to download a game and start it up. So I think that they can handle like selecting attacks and reading what stats are on your gear. So we'll find out, I guess. I heard that whenever you start beta testing and like handing it to like random people to see how they are, that they always like break something, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're there for. Break everything.
Exactly. Paying someone to break your game.
Yep. I mean, it's only gonna get better if you do that, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I try to do with it when Kel gives it to me. I like see what all I can break.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my play style anyway, usually, is just, let's see if I can like get through any walls or like do something weird with the game.
Right on. But yeah, I guess that's the turn meter. I'm not sure if we have much more to say about that. Our "What are you working on right now" segment. What was I working on? Oh yeah, this morning Kel gave me a bunch of stuff on our sheet that were like, I don't know, maybe this isn't exciting to anybody else, but I was like really excited because it's like the data curves, the numbers for like leveling up, and what sort of formulas we can use for experience points and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I was messing around with that all morning, trying to figure out like what the rates should be like for increasing like mob experience, and then experience gain to like level up. So there'll be more about that later, I think, but that's what I've been working on. Awesome.
I know you're way more into the numbers and stuff than I am, but I mean, it still sounds cool. Like I like it as an idea. But for me, I've been working on more user interface attack icons, so that's lots of fun too. No numbers, just but like, yeah, just, I don't know, like trying to get into like the like simplicity but still cool looking user interface stuff. Like it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to right now we don't have any like, you know, fire attacks or, you know, elemental things or you know, like a lot of it's like kind of just basic attacks. You know, we have like let me open the sheet and just read some of the names for everybody, just to give them an idea of like what our attacks we're working with. Yeah, so we have things like bonk, thump, bump, whack, chop, swing, lunge, stab, thrust, you know, cut. So it's really hard to think of like what kind of icons, you know, if I told you fire spin or like shark tornado was the move, you'd know exactly what to draw. But like for a lot of these like basic, you know, just starting to level up, you know, first tier attacks, it's kind of hard to you know, differentiate them and show what those attacks are.
Yeah, it's weird that like simpler stuff is actually more difficult with it.
Yeah, I think it's like that for a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's the paradox, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is going to be another short episode, just to give people a little taste of what progress we're making. I'm hoping next episode we can get Kel on again and, you know, get some more programming details and things like that. I think that'll be super interesting, but we'll see what happens. No promises yet. If you're listening to this and you're not in our Discord somehow, you got to get in there, because that's where we post like all the pictures and the first looks and you know, links to our videos and stuff. If you're not a Discord user though, you can get everything at knobcat.com. You know, you can read my blog posts and stuff there. And Nike has also been doing a really good job of updating our Instagram lately.
Yeah.
So you can find that at Dungeons Obelisk. And I think that's it. Is that a podcast?
I think that's a podcast.
All right, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks, I guess. Bye.
Bye.